Yo boys, back on another video. Before we start this video is going to be on Patreon, and this is pretty much just a shout out to the Patreon, and this will be basically the first video that's up on YouTube and Patreon. Now, in the future, I will be posting guides and stuff like that on my Patreon. It's going to be early, and there's also going to be specific content for the Patreon. It's going to be in the description below. There is a 7-day free trial, so as we work on it, you're able to, if you're wanting the 7 days, you get 7 days, and that's pretty much that. So, you guys can check that out. Obviously, it's a work in progress. There'll be more tiers added and more stuff like that. But this is pretty much just the video that's going to be posted on both to basically get us started. But keep in mind, if you're on the Patreon, you're going to get guides and stuff like that earlier than the YouTube. So keep that in mind. When new guides come out, that they're going to be immediately posted as fast as I can on the Patreon, and then they're going to be posted on YouTube later. So just get that out of the way. Now this is going to be the Thistle Tea build. Now my last guide was not the Thistle Tea build, so again, this is going to be both on the Patreon and YouTube. This will be the only video that's at the same time. So again, keep this in mind if you're looking for early access and early videos like that, or just exclusive Patreon videos, they're going to be on there. But with the video here, we're going to do the Thistle Tea build. Now, this has been basically the best build that I found that actually isn't that bad. I've been playing at like 1800 to do a carry, and it's not bad. Obviously, if you have best in slot gear, it's going to be a lot better, but yeah, I think this is going to be probably your better type of build here, so you guys can let me know how you guys feel about it. But gearing wise, your enchants is just the authority, so authority of radiant power, and you're just running both those, obviously. Now I don't have really that many chants on this guy, as you can see, because I'm working on my mains, on my main account. So this will all be fixed in the future. But usually with gearing, check PvP. I'll have Nodge's thing in the description, so make sure, shout out to Nodge for that, because I use his thing, so I might as well. So gearing wise, pretty much just copy paste whatever they have. That's pretty much like the meta, and that's pretty much all there is. For add-ons, it's basically the same thing. Now omnicd, I usually have it on, but since I had to restart my add-ons for some reason, it's not on obviously. But omnicd basically going to track your teammates' cooldowns. This is a must-need cooldown because it shows what your teammates have. A lot of people don't run this, and they don't know what their CDs have, so like they'll be like, oh, well, he can save me, but they don't realize he doesn't have any cooldowns. So for healing and for DPSing, you're going to want omnicd. Now, nameplate cooldown. For example, if I go over this guy, his cooldowns are going to show above his head. That's what that is. So nameplate cooldowns, omnicd, Sarena, which is also another big one, and I'm going to show you guys right here all of my settings real quick. So you're going to download Sarena, like it said. Go click this, go to Xaru, click it, and then you're just going to copy all of this. So just go, I'm going to go through these pages real quick. You can go through it. So you're just going to copy it just like mine, or you can do it however you want. Again, mine just looks kind of fresh this way, but again, it's your choice. Again, you can switch this over here, like on my main account, I have it switched over here. So you can kind of mess around with it, but this is going to be like your normal layout. And it's going to be a little bit cleaner for you. So trinkets, racials, cast bars, and diminishing returns. Again, you can pause the video, copy it, all that good stuff. Usually, again, I have my DRs a little bit over, and then I have my racials right about here. But again, you basically can do it however you would like. However it works for you, it's fine. So, that's that add-on. Now we have big debuffs. It's going to basically allow you to see the crowd control abilities and stuff like that a lot bigger. Again, this is another must. Details, another must, because you can see what, if you face another sub-rogue and he's doing a lot more damage, you can see what he's doing that you're not doing. And that's pretty much that. So, just the basic ones that I have. I don't really have anything else. This is literally all the add-ons I use. So you don't really need much, you just need the basics. That's really all you need there. And then for your targeting, what I like to do is go to targeting, go target nearest enemy player, and just do tab. I'm telling you, if I get high rated tab targeting, I guarantee you can too. You don't need anything special, you really don't. Why people think that you need to have, everything, you don't. Because it's not going to help you. As long as you just play and you're learning, you're going to learn. I'm telling you. I have known 1600 rogues that have ended up getting 2400 once they just need to be taught. So that's pretty much your add-ons, your macros, which I almost forgot the last time. So you have the secret tech macro. Again, it's going to be Thistle Tea and secret technique. So instead of having to manually click Thistle Tea, it's going to automatically. So when you click Thistle Tea, you get 5 seconds worth of a buff. And I also use it on my Shadow Dance. So while I'm doing my burst, I'll pop it, and I'm pretty sure it's in there as well. So, yes, it is. So this is gonna be everything: cast Shadow Dance, cast Shadow Blades, cast Thistle Tea, cast Symbols of Death, / use Blood Fury Racial, / use your badge trinket. This is everything. This is really all you need. Again, you don't need anything special. And obviously, if you want, you can use, another symbols as a finisher. And I will basically show you that as we do the rotation here. And then we have our Sap Macro. So this is an old school Sap Macro. There's probably other ones out there, but I just tended to do with what what I've been used to. So this will be in the description. Again, there's other ways you can have this macro. This is just a very old school macro that I use. What that allows you to do, obviously, is click your sap and you'll fight them in stealth. Same thing in Shadowy Duel. That's how I sap people. I don't have to click them first. I can immediately sap them using that macro, and you don't really have to worry about much. And then you're going to have your mini burst. So this is another macro. Cast symbols, badge, and your Shadow Dance. So this is going to cast everything but your blades. And this is going to be depending on what happens in the game. So if you open and they click wall, there's no point of bladesing. You might as well just do your mini go and then wait. So there's just certain situations where you're not going to click blades. You're not going to click your blood fury racial. Stuff like that. So that's pretty much your macros. That is your add-ons. That's your gear. So again, your gear is very basic. You can just copy Naj's, pretty basic. So now we're gonna go with the rotation. So the rotation is kinda similar, if not exactly the same. So with this, what I like to do a lot of the times, now usually you're gonna open with a cheap shot, so you're gonna sap the healer. So what I like to do is I preemptively click blades, I cheap shot, I use my blades, my burst macro, I use my flag, I shadow strike, and then I'll click secret technique. The problem with flag is it's so clunky in builds because it doesn't give a combo point. So you'll notice that this is the one cooldown that doesn't give a combo point, which is ridiculous because now you're forced to click another thing because obviously you have to, do your go. Now on a cheap shot go, you won't need a Shadow Strike to get combo points because obviously your cheap shot's going to give you combo points. So if you're cheap shotting, you're basically going to blades, cheap shot, burst macro, flag, secret technique because this macro is going to click symbols for you, so you're going to get that buff up there. After you click their secret technique, all you're going to do is Shadow Strike, restun, symbols, eviscerate. I'll show you a little update and let you know something here. So blades, cheap shot, burst, flag, secret technique, shadow strike, restun, symbols, eviscerate, re-cheap shot, eviscerate. And then after that, we just put up a rupture. Maybe we can swap to their target because we still have flag up. As you can see, you're going to do a lot of damage because you still have that 30 stack flag. So you might as well get, the full benefits is what you can get. That is pretty much what you're going to hit. I hit a 1.7 there. Again, if you have full mastery, you're going to probably see some 2 millions, maybe 2.2s on actual players. And as of right now, this is probably your best option for actual damage. But, if anybody else knows another build, you can let me know. But that's pretty much your burst rotation. And if you're looking to do kidney shot goes, again, it's going to be clunky, but they can also work out fine as well. But I don't really see anybody using kidney shot. I usually see cheap shot goes because it's more, it's just easier on your build. So after your second go, all you're going to do is keep up a rupture. That's your main thing. Have ruptures on both targets that you're going the entire game. I'm telling you, the damage will add up. It's going to make sense. Now on kidney shot goes, all you're going to be doing is kidney shot, and you're kind of doing similar things. So you're kidney shotting, you're bursting, you're flagging, but instead of secret teching, you're forced to shadow strike secret technique, which kind of sucks. But this is just how kidney goes are. They're just clunky. That's why you never see our sub rogue kidney shot bursting you. Mainly because it's just so clunky. It doesn't work out with the build. So I'll show you right here what it'll look like. So kidney shot, burst, flag, shadow strike, secret technique, and you'll probably read cheap shot, symbols, eviscerate, cheap shot, eviscerate. So we'll see right here. So kidney shot, burst, flag, shadow strike, secret technique, shadow strike, cheap shot, symbols, eviscerate, cheap shot, eviscerate. There you go. After that, again, you can go on the other target if you would like. Obviously, you want to keep up a rupture out of that, so after your burst, rupture this guy, and then just go ahead and swap to this guy. Why not? Get another go going, especially if you've done it right after, and just put a rupture on him when you're done. And then after that, you're just farming your Shadow Dance, wait for your burst again, and that is pretty much all. And as you can see, it's pretty good damage. There was a 3.3 mil. Again, you're not gonna. I don't think you'll see that high of an eviscerate on a real player because unfortunately the target dummies are bugged and they don't have versatility. I'm pretty sure. But you'll see the damage add up. So by no means, you will do burst damage. So the one thing you will do is burst. Now for your PvP talents, you're gonna want to run death. Now you would think this talent is useless, but I've done some big damage with it. Now again, the only time you're gonna be running this is if you can't disarm anything. Now usually versus assassination rogues and feral druids, you're gonna run God Cloak, so Void of Midnight, and versus casters. So casters is the one time you get a play death from above. It's the one time it's actually good. So all you're doing with death from above is after you've done your full burst rotation, you can just click it and it's going to do a chunk HP. And I will show you the version of the burst that you can do. And this is with death from above. Since I don't really use it often, I'm going to show you. So we're going to wait for some CDs here. So you're doing the same rotation. So you're going to blades, cheap shot, burst, secret technique, shadow strike, cheap shot, and then you're gonna symbols death from above, and then obviously off that you can read cheap shot eviscerate. But it's kind of, it doesn't really work in your rotation the best. It's just something you use at the end of it. It's not something that's like, oh, I'm gonna use this in one shot, but it does do a lot of damage. And as you see, I'll show you right here. So blades, cheap shot, burst, boom, secret tech, shadow strike, read cheap shot, symbols death from above, read cheap shot, eviscerate. As you can see, you know, it didn't even render, I don't think. Where is it? Okay, well that's nice. The one time I use it, it doesn't render. That's unfortunate. Well, that unfortunately it didn't render, but you know it did a little bit of damage. I don't know what it said on the thing, but it does damage. Like it's not, by no means is it a like finisher, but it can do like 150 somebody on your blades. It does do a lot of damage. So if you're looking to do death from above, it's gonna look like that. Now again, if you want to use it at the very end of that rotation, the first rotation, by no means, you know, by all means you can do that. So again, death from above is not something that you're gonna use and be like, oh, I'm gonna one shot. However, there are times where it will hit super hard. So at the end of your cheap shots, or you know, right before, you can do something like that and you'll be good. So again, you can do however you want, but the variations that I've found is something like that. So you guys have to let me know what you guys think. Again, the Patreon in the future will have certain videos that will be up on that. There's 7 free days, so if you're looking to get on that, I'm going to start posting a lot there first, and then it'll be on YouTube. Again, there's going to be specific videos that will not be on YouTube. So maybe like rogue mage videos, it could be guides, it really just depends. Like if I don't feel like putting it on YouTube, it's just something I would put on the Patreon so you guys can watch it. If you're trying to support me, this is gonna be your best way to support me. And obviously, if you do, if you're a member, I'm gonna obviously give you a shout out because I appreciate all the support. But that's pretty much it. If you guys did enjoy this video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. It's NX, and I'll see you guys in the next one. I hope I didn't forget anything, but if I did, it would be this. Your cooldowns. So before we end this, at the very end, if you guys made it this far, your feint needs to be used pretty much on their cooldowns. Treat it like a defensive cooldown, but at the same time, I would rather you use it off CD than to not use it at all. It is basically a 40% damage reduction to any AoE ability. So think about this. Secret Technique AoE ability. any AoE ability. So anything. It could be Pharaoh's AoE, it could be a mage, anything that is countered as an AoE, you will take 40% less damage. That is literally a wall. And every class does AoE damage, and a lot of their classes are their big damage. Again, listen to what I just said. Use feint off CD. Now you don't like your best thing is to click it, and then again you got it for 6 seconds. You're taking reduced damage and reduce 40% AoE ability. That's insane. And then again you almost have it up again, so go ahead and use it again. Now by the time it's already up, you have it again. So I would rather you just do this than not use it at all. So that's basically one thing that I don't see any rogues ever doing. It's literally a free wall. So use the ability. If you're playing solo shuffle, if there's more than 2 people attacking you, it will count. So keep that in mind. With your evasion, when do you want to evasion? On their CDs. Let's say your healer CC'd, you click evasion. You have to trade along with your healer. If your healer PS's you, you probably don't need evasion. So on their CDs, if you click evasion first, great. But don't overlap. If this guy PS's you at 90%, I'm not going to click evasion on top of that. I'm not going to vanish on top of that. Now, when I blind, what I like to do is I like to do this. So, mid-game, what I like to do is I put vanish and I put blind on the same exact route. So, mid-game, what I like to do is I like to do this. So, cheap shot. At the end of the cheap shot, I'm going to run over. I'm going to blind them. And then guess what? Off that, I'm going to use my vanish and then I can sap. And that is how you're going to mid-game sap people. This is all you have to do every time. So, this is going to go with this. There's no point of using vanish unless you're using it defensively. And that's pretty much that. Now, when do you want to use your Shadowy Duel? This has been a hard question. The good thing about Shadowy Duel, and again, listen to this. It's not a GCD, which means when I click Cheap Shot, I can click Shadowy Duel. So when you're doing a rotation, let's say you Blades early, so Blade, Cheap Shot, Shadowy Duel at the same time, so you could put them at the same time. So Cheap Shot, Shadowy Duel, then do your rotation. That is how you're going to fit Shadowy Duel in your rotation. So keep that in mind. You can click. This is not a GCD. Now, when are you wanting to cloak? Cloak's pretty much an easy go-to. So they're clicking burst on me. I don't have any cooldowns, and my healer is CC'd, and I'm 50, 60%. I'm probably going to click cloak. You don't want to click cloak at 20%. You need to click it to where, okay, I'm comfortable not dying here. So you're going to click it around 45 to 60%. It really depends on what your healer's clicking. If he already has a cooldown on you, unless you absolutely need to at 30%, go ahead and click cloak. But again, feint off CD, major cooldown, and I can't say it enough. File off CD. It's better to use these things off CD than to not use them at all. People think that you have to use these as like OG cooldowns. You don't. I swear I don't see a single rogue clicking feint. I don't see a single rogue clicking file until the very end. You'll see them click it like once a game. Click it off CD. I'm telling you, it'll make a big difference. It's basically a wall, and the heal is basically like a 30% heal. Yeah, it's literally a 27% of your maximum health for 4 seconds. So, hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. I'm just trying to make sure you guys can get the best version of this that you can. If you guys have any build you want me to check out, again, I'm going to be trying to post on the Patreon. It'll be early for the rogue, so rogue videos are going to go early there. And then depending on what it is, it's going to be going on to the YouTube. It's basically like a, Patreon first, then it goes over to the YouTube, depending on what it is. It's been X. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace, peace.